concluding session of our this seminar, which is an introduction to Bhagavatam. We are trying to learn some important tenets regarding Bhagavatam, which will help us to enter Bhagavatam properly. Enter Bhagavatam means the studying of Bhagavatam, that entry to study. So we called it as Parichaya because here we are not delving directly into the subject of Bhagavatam. We are trying to see what is the glory of Bhagavatam, how it is seen by great saints, how it is seen in the whole Vedic literature, Vedic domain, all that. So today we are trying to see in that manner. So in that attempt, we had covered 2 out of 3 parts. The first 2 sessions took the first part. What was it? Can you recollect? Establishing Bhagavatam as the highest pramana. That was the first one. Second one also we kind of did a little learning about it, history of Bhagavatam in terms of the acharyas who spoke it, and how Bhagavatam itself explains how it came into the people's knowledge and all. So that was history of Bhagavatam. So today we will see, in fact, the last part, Adhikara and Sadhana Tattva. This is the first few important principles of Bhagavatam. It comes in first and second canto. We will see that a little today. Let us quickly offer our prayers to Guru Parampara and seek auspiciousness and blessings. Om Ajnanatimidandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanshcha Shri Rupam Sa Agrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam Pangum langhayate girim yat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam. Hare Krishna. In our 4-session course Bhāgavata Parichaya, today we are in the 4th session, and we had completed the first 2 parts of this seminar, and today we are entering into the last part of the seminar, which is actually Adhikara and Sadhana for properly understanding Bhagavata. Before we exactly go into these 2 aspects of Bhagavatam, it is important to identify what is Adhikar, what does Adhikara mean, what does Sadhana mean. Adhikara in English could be roughly translated as qualification. Sometimes it's used in the sense of power or rights, but it is more properly told it as qualification. His Adhikar, like Krishna says, Karmanye va Adhikaraste. The Jiva's qualification is to act. He cannot demand the result of action should be like this only. He can only act. The results are not under his control. Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, karmanyeva adhikara. That word comes there also. So adhikara means what is one's duty, which he should cultivate. Qualification. So Vedic scriptures, Shabda Pramana, different shastras have different qualifications. Some shastras which are for karma marga, which promise that if you do this, you will get this result, which will give you material happiness. Like that, there are many scriptures. In fact, most of the Vedas are what is called karma kanda. So for them, the qualification is that he should follow the rituals properly. He should be arranging the pure ingredients, because the yajna is one of the primary means there actually. So all that comes under the qualification. And he should be very dutiful. And then in Gnana Marga, the qualification is there. That if you recollect, what could be the qualification of someone who is in Gnana Marga? Studying Shastra. Okay, he should have knowledge about the world, not just knowledge about Shastra, but knowledge about the world. Anything more? In Karma Marga, person is doing duties. In Gnana Marga, person stops doing duties. He should be satisfied and happy. Okay. Okay, fine. You are going to one step higher than that. But I'm just basically trying to. When can a person stop doing his duties? Huh? Anartha Nivritti. You're talking in Bhakti realm. I'm just talking in plain general. What I'm asked the question is, what is the like adhikara? We are talking about adhikara now today. Adhikara and sadhana. So adhikara means qualification. Now, different spiritual paths have different qualifications. And accordingly, those people having that qualification can read those scriptures and get the maximum benefit. Not that every scripture given by Vyasa is for everyone, no. Because instructions are so different in every scripture. Sometimes in the one scripture only there is varieties of instruction. Like Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, so many instructions in Bhagavad Gita. He tells in the beginning karma, he tells duty, he tells, what he tells how to worship demigods also at one point of time, in the initial part of Karma Yoga. Later he tells you should worship that Yajna, the Vishnu. He goes on to tell about Ashtanga Yoga also, is it not? So what does this mean? Is it that every instruction, for example, in Bhagavad Gita is for everyone? No. No. It is not for everyone. We should not appreciate this fact. The specific instructions are given to according to that person in that specific level. So when Krishna is speaking, say karma principle, karma yoga principles, he is giving it for a person who is in that position. But when Arjuna asks a question, which shows that he is asking a question at a higher level, then Krishna will speak on that level. You're getting? So there are spectrum, there is gradation, or there is a range, there is a progression, shreni in instructions. So why we are talking here is for reading Bhagavatam, not just reading here, it is understanding Bhagavatam truly. For that, there is very specific qualification explained in Bhagavatam itself. And that is adhikara. Now, sadhana means, what is it that Bhagavatam, if I have to understand Bhagavatam, what is it that I have to keep doing daily, on a daily basis? That's called sadhana, is it not? Like someone who wants to learn music, he will do swara sadhana, sura sadhana, riyaz, whatever you call. Someone who is an athlete, he will do his gymnast, whatever. So like that, for understanding Bhagavatam, like we got to know so far how Bhagavatam is the highest pramana, and how Lord Krishna spoke it confidentially to his very dear devotee Uddhava, who spoke it later to queens, and later it came, into the reach of many people through the efforts of so many acharyas. We saw that. Now we want to understand that literature. So we should know what qualification we should strive for and the means to strive for it. That is sadhana. Okay, so that will be the discussion, which is little more for our own selves. So far we saw like theory, like, okay, this is how it is, I understand this. Now how I can become a fit candidate to understand Bhagavatam. You have a question? Yes. Karma marga is about duties, surely. It is about the emphasis there is being dutiful. Karma, in Gnana marga, yes, I forgot, missed it. So Gnana marga is, the key word there is detachment. The qualification for Gnana marga is he should be having at least a little detachment from the world. Then only he pursues. Actually, a person who is following Gnana marga, he renounces actually. He is at the ashram of sannyasa in a traditional Vedic society. Until then, people are doing their duties. You see, brahmachari has duties, grihastha has duties, vanaprastha also has duties. In sannyasa, he relinquishes all duties. That is jnana, and he engages himself in deep study, reflection, and absorption or meditation. That is, and that later matures into yoga. So the point is karma, jnana, and lastly bhakti. Bhakti marga has very specific qualification. Any of you guess what is the qualification for bhakti? What is the qualification for a person to enter and take to bhakti? Intelligent? Okay. Okay. Something, yes, something little more. Let's talk a little more from
Do daily sadhana of devotional service.
Here there is an answer. I'm just repeating. Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Do daily sadhana in the devotional service.
Okay. So he is telling the qualification to practice bhakti is doing daily sadhana of devotional service. Okay. That is sadhana. I'm asking qualification, which is adhikar. Desire to serve. Why is that desire to serve coming? Here, Venkatramana is telling desire to serve. Why is that coming?
Faith in God, Prabhu.
1 minute. Yes, please say, Mataji.
Have faith in Him.
Okay, they have faith in Him. There is an answer telling that they have faith on the Supreme Lord. They want to serve Him like that. Okay, you're all telling right only. Just looking for that one point. Yes, please. Okay, he has understood that there is a relationship of his with Lord. Sambandha. Yes, there is one answer. Yes.
Love for God.
Love for the Lord. Okay, you are all telling much advanced topics. The simple qualification. Yes, Prabhu. Okay, Prabhu is telling Guru, but Guru is there in other margas also. So the qualification for practicing bhakti is he should have developed some attraction to Supreme Lord. Supreme Lord. Attraction. Some attraction. Favorableness to Krishna. It could be even to his devotees. That is the qualification. This is explained actually. Can come here. Okay. So anyway, it is not being perfect in doing actions like karma marga. In karma marga, you have to be perfect in reciting mantras, in getting the purest ingredients. You should have good amount of wealth. You should be able to, get the right people, please them by good charity. You see, this is karma marga. You should have all this. You should be very devout in following. Some little here and there doshas, there will be different reactions. In Jnana Marga, you should be detached. Practically, sometimes they leave the family. Jnana Marga, as I told, it's sannyasa ashram actually. That's Jnana Marga. For bhakti, it is neither perfection in actions nor detachment. It is what? An attraction to Lord. Jata Shraddha Mat Katha. So Krishna says, in my Katha, someone has developed little Shraddha, that's a qualification. And that matures. How it becomes more and more developed is something we should understand. So we will see that today. Try to understand that how Bhagavatam, what is the qualification for understanding Bhagavatam? Earlier I told qualification for Bhakti. Okay, now for Bhagavatam, very specifically something is going to come. Okay, let's see that. So before we enter this, now we are formally entering the very first shloka of Bhagavatam. The very first shloka, any of you recollect what is so special about it? Yesterday we did see something about it. It has Gayatri mantra. It's an explanation of Gayatri mantra. It has that famous verse, Satyam Param Dhimahi. Okay, I missed this. So before we enter that first verse, the Bhagavatam in itself, this big literature, is compared to 4 items. So for our better understanding, this is given by one Acharya in our Sampradaya called Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakur in the lineage of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He says, Bhagavatam is like a lamp. What is special about lamp? It expels the darkness. It gives light. Similarly, Bhagavatam gives, how can I move this? Okay. How do I do that? Floating, huh? This one. Huh? Okay. Okay, thank you. So it destroys the ignorance, ajnana, which is like darkness. So there are specific verses telling Bhagavatam is Deepa. Adhyatma Deepam Atiti Tirshatam Tamondham. In the second verse, second chapter, this comes. Yasvanubhavam Akila Shruti Saramekam Adhyatma Deepam Atiti Tirshatam Tamondham. There it is told, it's like a lamp. No, like a lamp, it dispels in small room darkness. Similarly, Bhagavatam in a very beginning, initial understanding, it will destroy some preliminary darknesses about existence of Lord, about the world, how it is running, how it ends, all that. It is also compared to sun. Very famous. This is very famous. Bhagavatam is like lamp. Bhagavatam is like sun. Puranarko adhunoditaha. Arka means sun. Arka. Krishne swadhamopagate dharma jnanadibhi saha kalau nashtadrishamesha puranarko adhunoditaha. So there it is compared to sun. Why sun? What is special about sun compared to lamp? Okay, sun can illuminate so much compared to a lamp. Okay, very good. Anything more? Anything more? Yes, sun, it illuminates practically so much. In fact, the whole planet is illuminated. Is it not? Vice. The dvipas or varshas all illuminated. In fact, the whole Brahmanda, it is the primary source of light. In fact, the only source of light is sun. So like that, Bhagavatam, it illuminates so clearly. Earlier, it was like a lamp. In one place, it was there. Some prakasha was coming. Later, it's like sun. You understand so many things about the supreme truth. Not just as creator, not just as someone who destroys, but one who maintains, one who protects, one who inspires. Many like that. One who compassionately guides. These are all different aspects of that supreme truth, Bhagavan Krishna, that is explained by Bhagavatam. Anyway, in the next course, this will be further elaborated. I'm just pointing it out as a very preliminary understanding here. So that is sun. then that destroys the misconceptions of demons and gives joy to devotees. Basically, so many misunderstandings about God will be there. Oh, God, he may not have form. God doesn't. He's impotent. God is, many aspects. God, he many aspects about the supreme truth are clarified, are explained properly in the example of sun. So then Bhagavatam is compared to fruit, especially the mango fruit, which is considered the king of all fruits. Very ripe fruit of mango, fruit mango. This is very famous analogy. Any of you recollect why? Why is this told? Okay. Okay. So, yes, like that. Very good. Perfect. So Prabhu has told, Vittal Karuna Prabhu, that if we compare the whole Vedic literature, all the four Vedas, Puranas, Itihasas, Upanishads, Pancharatras, Tantras, Shaddarshan, all of that. If we compare it to the tree gives so many things. The best thing which a tree can give is fruit. And here Bhagavatam is compared to the ripe fruit, Galitam Phalam. That shows, in fact, this shloka comes in the very third verse only. Today we'll see that. Galitam Phalam, the ripe fruit of the tree of Vedic literatures. That shows it is the whole purpose or the goal or the highest result of the tree is like that. Yeah. Now, that's the fruit. And that is actually very sweet, is it not? Compared to many things which a tree can give, the ripe mango is very sweet. And in that sense, Bhagavatam gives the most sweet. Madhuram madhurebhyopi mangalebhyopi mangalam. That's about Harinam. But especially about bhakti, about the madhurya of Krishna. Krishna is considered the most sweet personality. Madhuradhipate rakhilam madhuram. There is a very famous song only called Madhura. Madhurashtakam. Adaram, Madhuram, all that. So he is called the king of sweetness. Madhura adhipate rakhilam madhuram. Venur Madhura. Like that, many things are there about Madhura, about Krishna. So it reveals that personality Krishna in the most sweetest, highest expression. And the bhakti towards him, which is far more, much higher sweet. Especially the highest realms of bhakti, ranging to the four higher rasas also. Shanta, then there is Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, Madhurya. In the Madhurya, the highest also. So that Bhagavatam gives. That's why it is compared to ripe mango fruit. I hope all of you recall it. It is the highest gift of the Vedic tree, and it reveals the higher sweetness of Bhagavan and Bhakti. Bhagavan, many are there, but among them the highest, sweetest expression of Bhagavan is Krishna, especially the Krishna of Vrindavan that Bhagavatam gives. That's the central topic of Bhagavatam. And then in the Bhakti, the highest practice, which is the most sweet, most dear to heart, in which full submission of heart is there, that is Madhurya Rasa, that is also great. And very interestingly, the fourth comparison for Bhagavatam is Mohini. Any of you know this? Why Mohini? Okay. Attracts demons. Everyone. That way it could be some attract, but Mohini has a very, when you hear Mohini, what thing comes to your mind?
Beauty.
Okay, Mohini was very beautiful, but there is one more thing she did because of that beauty. She deceived, she cheated. Now, why Bhagavatam is compared to Mohini? Can someone think of it? Nastikas. Yeah, it cheats the Nastikas or those. So Bhagavatam, if someone who is not a devotee of Krishna, he starts reading.
He cannot understand.
Yeah. So Prabhu is telling he cannot understand. Yes, he cannot understand. And Bhagavatam will tell, the highest thing, highest truth is Brahma Jyoti. There also there are verses like that, which can make such kind of people. Yes. See, Bhagavatam talks about Nirakara, Nirguna, Brahma. But actually the highest aspect is Purna Purushottama, Satchidananda, Vigraha, Krishna. But what it will do? You want the nectar, Amrita, you want demons? I will give you. And it doesn't give. Is it not? So, like that, Bhagavatam also has certain verses which are very deceptive. Unless we understand it through devotees, pure devotees, acharyas, one will not get into the mysteries of Bhagavatam. Though Bhagavatam is the highest, one can objectively see also, yes, his bhakti is there. But there are also verses like this, which can deceive, cheat those who are not in the proper adhikar, those who are not following proper sadhana. It will, I'll not give you nectar. It will deny in the next. Okay? So that way, it actually is nectar to devotees, but it hides it from demons. It doesn't give to demons. Because they are not in anukula bhava, they are dveshis, they are envious. Is it not? They want to use Bhagavatam for their purpose. For such purposes, Bhagavatam remains mysterious, not approached. Should we go ahead now? Bhagavatam, though Bhagavatam gives many places this pure sweetness about Krishna, Bhagavan, and Bhakti, and Bhaktas, all that, there are also verses which tell that supreme truth is Nirakara Nirguna Brahma. The highest path is Jnana Marga, Vairagya, Jnana. Like that, there are verses. At the end, Shukadev Goswami, he spoke those verses. Very specific reason is there why he spoke those verses, because he saw some people who may approach this literature, he wants to protect. So he wants to protect that. That's why he gave such verses. Okay, you wanted this now? Okay, Bhagavatam gives Brahma Sakshatkara. Take it. So for that way, it hides the actual nectar from such people. Is this clear? It doesn't give access to that highest wealth or treasure which it has to such people having basically a demoniac mentality. Demoniac mentality here means those who are not bhaktas here. It could be jnanis, it could be many other, any type of, who doesn't have that little attraction to Krishna, like that. So now all of you have come here, you're all learning, appreciating Bhagavatam. Surely we have little appreciation. We have little attraction to Krishna, personality of Krishna, his bhaktas, is it not? So we are able to appreciate that. But not all will have like. Okay? Okay, Vittal Garan? Okay. Now let us go to our point of adhikara and sadhana. As I told earlier, the first 3 verses of Bhagavatam are very important to understand. We are not going to discuss in depth because it is very vast. It's very, very vast. These 3 shlokas are practically encapsulating the whole Bhagavatam there. But we will at least recite them, very important, and see the highlights of it in just as a mention. Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Janmadyasya yatonvayaditaratas Chartheshvabhignasparat Tene Brahmhridaya Adikavaye Muhyanti yat suraya tejo varimridam yatha vinimayo yatra trisargo mrisha
Yatra trisargo mrasa.
dhamna svena sada nirasta kuhakam
Amna sevna sada nirasta
satyam
guhakam.
param dhimahi.
Satyam param
The word came
dhimahi.
dhimahi, है ना? This verse is told as one which introduces, one which defines absolute truth. Parama Satya, which is told at the end, Satyam Param Dhimahi. That is a subject. Parama Satya, absolute truth. It has many qualities. The first quality told is Janma Adi Yasya Yataha. It is that from where everything else came, be it spiritual world, material world, everything came. That is the source, that is the cause, primeval cause, it is called prime cause, sarva karana karanam, like that. It is cognizant. Is it that everything came from that supreme truth and it doesn't know what's happening in the creation? No, it knows. How it knows? It knows anvayad itaratah cha artheshu abhignaha. It is fully aware of what is happening in the creation, in every nook and corner of its creation. Sometimes in a company, the company owner doesn't know that some coup is happening against him to dethrone him. Sometimes it happens. Like in a country, it happens. That's why they keep intelligence agencies and all, spies and all, to know what's happening around, isn't it? But Lord, He is aware of everything which is happening in His creation. First of all, He is the source of it, cause of it. Then He is knowing everything which is happening in His creation. There is nothing that He doesn't know. Oh, I did not know about it. Like that, Krishna. For Him, Krishna, it's not there. Like. And then He is fully independent. Swarat. This word is there. Swarat. Fully independent. He is not under modes. He is not under any prakriti or avidya. Nothing. No trace of it. He is fully independent. Then enlightener. That is, he can enlighten, he can give this knowledge, spiritual knowledge, to anyone. In fact, the highest person in the universe, Brahma, he got this knowledge in his heart by him only. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaye. Then, okay, that means I can know him. I can try to know him. I'll study him. I will research about him. You cannot do. Because you try to know him by your own strength of intelligence and senses, some anuman praman. If you try to engage about him, then you will become bewildered. Bewildered means mohita, confused. You will fall into Brahma. Many people, though they know Krishna as some very strange character in Mahabharata, they have so many misconceptions about Krishna. We can see at least in my life, I could see, until we started learning from a sampradaya, from acharyas, we cannot understand the activities of Bhagavan. We often misunderstand. We understand by our own perceptions. Oh, this is how God should be. And okay, let's measure Krishna against it. Not like that. Krishna is beyond all our criterias. He's Swarat. He can bewilder everyone, anyone. And he is the basis of all knowledge. He is the basis of all existence. Tejo, Vari, Mridam. And then he is the eternal abode. Dhamna, Svena, Sada, Nirasta, Kuhakam. Each of this has a very detailed explanation. But I just wanted to have an experience of learning or reciting these shlokas and see its meaning in a very, very overview manner. Okay? Very important. Prabhupada gave very detailed purport to it. The first verse of first chapter, first canto of Bhagavata. The second verse tells, the first one was defining that Param Satya. The second tells, how can you know that truth? How can you attain that truth? That principle is told in second verse. Please repeat. Dharma projhita kaitavotra paramo nirmatsaranam satam
Nirmatsaranam sada.
vedyam vastavamatra vastu shivadam
Vedyam vastavamatra vastu sivadam.
tapatrayonmoolanam
Tapatrayonmoolanam.
Srimad-Bhāgavate Mahamuni-krite
Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni-krite.
Vaparairishvara
Kim va parairishvara.
Sadyo Hridyavaruddhyatetra Kritibhi
Satyo hridi avrudhaiti atra kritibihi.
Shushrusubhistatskshanat.
Sushrubhistatsanat.
So this is also very important to understand how we can know Bhagavatam. How we can know that supreme truth? The means is to Bhagavatam only. Bhagavatam helps us understand that absolute truth. And what is the nature of Bhagavatam? This Bhagavatam, it rejects all cheating religion, it is told. Cheating religion means here the four Purusharthas. Dharma, Artha, I want some wealth. I want to fulfill my desires, Kama. I want liberation. It's considered very noble, is it not? Moksha or liberation. But Bhagavatam even goes beyond liberation also. It doesn't give these kind of things. It in fact tells these are not important. In fact, reject it. Then it tells, I will give you the highest thing beyond it. Highest. Vastava vastu. Vedyam vastava vastu. And it tells it can only be understood if one is pure, is non-envious, nirmatsara. These are words there in that shloka only, nirmatsara. And it can give vastava vastu. Means what is really the truth. Truth is not something which is there today, tomorrow it is not there. Or it was not there yesterday. Like I am here. In the truly speaking terms, I cannot be called vastava vastu in this body. Because this body was very different 10 years before. After 10 years later, maybe tomorrow itself, we don't know whether it will be there or not. Is it not? So, we cannot be called vastava. You understand? Vastava. Vastava means real, factual, real. So, that which is there in past, present, and future is called vastava. That is vastava vastu. So, like this, Bhagavatam explains that. Distinguishes reality from illusion. It removes three miseries: adhyatmika klesha, adhibhautika klesha, adhidaivika kleshas, tapatraya unmoolanam. Tapatraya, we say no tapatraya. The tapatrayas are all removed. Then it is something which is sufficient. If we just take help of Bhagavatam, it can give immediately realization of God. When one is hearing Bhagavatam, he is experiencing the highest understanding about Krishna. So, sadhyaha rudyavaruddhyate. Sadhyaha means immediately. Tat kshanat, it is told. What is required is a proper hearing. That will come little later. What it means, hearing Bhagavatam, how do we understand properly? So that will be described. But that hearing of Bhagavatam is so powerful that immediately Krishna appears in the heart of that soul. And he understands that his relationship, that soul understands his relationship with Krishna, and he becomes blissful.
So Prabhu, please explain about the three miseries, Prabhu.
Okay. Here is a question about three miseries. You have seen it? Immediately realizes God. So Prabhupada's quote was there. No? It is from this verse. Yes. So here is a question about three miseries. The three miseries. Tapatraya. That word is there, you see, in the second, this fourth one. Tapatraya. Tapa means that which is very hot, heat. Sometimes fever is also called tapa. So tapatraya means three types of heats for a conditions. Some heat which is coming from within, because of his very body, the senses, the mind, they give so much trouble to us jiva in this world. They fall sick, Like nowadays, people are falling sick because of changing weather. Huh? So many types of diseases this body itself can give. Is it not? Adhyatmika klesh, it's called. Mind can give so much trouble. If everything is fine outside, but if mind is corrupt, is so much miserable. That's first type of tapatraya, tapa. Second type is outside, people around. Huh? They can give so much different type of tapa, the fellow jivas around. It could be some enemies, it could be terrorists, it could be even small insects, mosquito or viruses are like that also. It could be any type of jiva who is around can give potentially so much of misery to the conditions. That is second type of tapa. It's called adhibhautika klesha or tapa. The third one is when one is in this material nature, bhautika prakriti, there is so much calamities which can happen. Adhidaivika klesha, from daiva it can come. There could be, like now, there's so much of wind is blowing, rains, thunderstorms. Or a little while before it was intense heat. Is it not too much cold or some earthquake or like that? So when everything is well, you can always be fearful of some calamity. Calamity means something you don't, suddenly it happens. You cannot stop it. You cannot control it. So these are the three types of miseries. In Bhagavatam, you will see people who had these miseries, they took shelter of Bhagavatam, they transcended the misery. Many examples are. Many examples.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Okay, Hare Krishna. So maybe at the end of the session, someone remind me, we can explore on those examples for it. How someone had this adhyatmic klesh, he transcended. Adhi bhautik klesh he took, he transcended. Adhi daivik klesh he took, he transcended. Like that. So anyway, that is there. So that is second verse. Now let's go to the third verse. Please repeat after me. Nigamakalpataror galitam phalam. Shukamukhaadamritadrava samyutam.
Sugamugatamrutadrava samyutam.
Pibata bhagavatam rasamalayam.
Bibita bhagavatam
Muhurago
rasamalayam.
rasika bhuvi bhavuka.
Mugarago rasika puvi
So
bhavukaha.
here, Bhagavatam is giving an invitation. Come, come. I am giving the highest thing, and that can immediately relieve you of all the miseries, and it can give you the highest taste in life. Rasa. For eternity, you can keep relishing, no boredom in this rasa. It is ever new. It can give you unending bliss. Come, come, muhuraho, drink. Again and again you can drink. There is no end to it. So Bhagavatam gives an invitation. O Rasika, O Bhavuka, come drink this Bhagavatam. Don't eat. Though it is a fruit, don't need to eat. You have to drink. Drinking is most easy for a jiva, is it not? And yet it is not something just like a liquid. It is like rasa, like amras or sikaranya, whatever, which is fully only and only sweet. There is no gutli, there is no skin, there is nothing like that. It's pure. So taste the sweetness of ripened fruit of Vedic wisdom. That word galitam phalam, earlier we were seeing that one of the comparisons was fruit. So that is derived from this. It came from the mouth of Shuka. It became very sweet, like a fruit which touched by a parrot becomes more sweet. It is told, like that, Shukadeva Goswami, he spoke Bhagavatam. Earlier, many had spoken. So when he spoke Bhagavatam, he was specially blessed and it became much more sweeter. Like that. So like that, Bhagavatam is very sweet. Pibata, no khadata, but pibata, drink. Very nectarian it is. So like this, Bhagavatam in first three verses, it gives a prelude or introduction. Now coming to Adhikari Tattva. We are seeing Adhikara, Adhikari. One of the ways we understand superiority of Bhagavatam is what kind of questions which are asked in Bhagavatam. Like last time, you remember someone had asked why Matsya and Kurma Puranas are considered in Tamasika Purana. Any of you recollect why? How we understood it? Audience, okay. The type of audience and the inquiries they are making could be very low level. It could be related to this world, how I can get rid of this curse, how I can get some wealth. You understand? I have this dosha, how I can get rid of it, or how I can get moksha. So in all other Puranas, these are the motives. But in Bhagavatam, you see the very first chapter only, there are many questions. The chapter is called Questions by Sages. It's a question, chapter is full of questions. There are around 6 questions. I'm not going to detail of it. The first inquiry in Bhagavatam starts in the very first chapter. The first one, please read. What is the most beneficial thing to humanity? Ekantata Shreya. Shreya, Shreya, this word is used. Shreyas, Shreya. Highest good. What is the highest good for a jiva? Now, while asking, this sages were asking, they have kept everything under the sun, to evaluate against. What is the highest good? Give some wealth, give some comforts. You have to compare everything. What is the highest good? So much of scrutiny happens here actually. Then second one, Prabhuji, can you read? You may think that, oh, it's there in Shastras, read it. No, we don't have time. You tell us the essence of it. We know that scriptures, Vyasa wrote so much, but it is very difficult to understand. Tell us the essence of it. All scriptures. Yat saram, the sara of all the Shastras. Second question. Gajanan Prabhu? The purpose of Krishna. We heard that Krishna is Bhagavan, but he took birth and he did activities like normal person of this world, and he left, he died and left. Why he came first of all? What is this, his activities? Explain it properly. So they are asking about Bhagavan only. Why he came, all that. He could have sent his energies or his expansions to do what he wants to do. Dharmastapana, that he can do without his coming also. Killing demons he can do without his coming. But why he came? Then, yes, Prabhu? No, not Purushartha, Purushavataras. So Purushavatara is a very big topic in itself. In brief, Purushavatara means those avatars which Bhagavan takes to maintain this world. There are 3 types of Vishnus who are called Purushavatars. Earlier, before I started reading Bhagavatam or heard from devotees, I thought Vishnu means one person. But 3 types of Vishnus. Eka Vishnustyu Trini Rupani, like that the Purana describes. 3 types of Vishnus. Each of them, they create, they maintain, and they become the preservation place at various levels. One is the entire material exist. Another is one Brahmanda. Another is sitting with each jiva in every atom. So that is Purushavatara. Explain about Purushavataras. We want to know. Then they say, Prabhuji, Venkatram, can you read? There are some activities, some avatars of Lord who come only to do leelas. There is no obligation or duty of creating, maintaining. No. They come, they do leela. Like Ramachandra. Of course, there was some external reason of killing a demon, but more was to exchange love with his devotee. Narasimha, that killing of Hiranyakashipu was very, very insignificant. That was not the purpose only of Narasimha coming. His coming was to please Prahlad, make his word true, and exchange love with him. Hear his words, bless him. So that was the intent. So that's called Leela Avatara. Vamana, Varaha, Narasimha. Like this, many are Leela Avatars. Some are Purusha Avatars. There are many types of avatars. So they specifically asked about this. And the last question they ask is very significant. Vital Karna Prabhu, can you read? Krishna has left. When he was there, we could understand Dharma was in his shelter. He was maintaining Dharma. But now, where is dharma? So when they asked these questions, immediately the speaker, who was Sutta Goswami, he started clapping only. He didn't answer immediately. Because by hearing questions only became so happy. My God, what questions you asked. There are shlokas describing how he glorified the hearers and the question. Variyaneshate prashna. Krito lokahitam rupa. Kya pucha aapne, no? Such a variyaneshate prashna. The best questions. For lokahita you have asked. Atmavit sammatha pumsam. The greatest learned people, they glorify this. Atmavit sammatha pumsam. Like that it's described. So the answer to this come in the second and third chapter of Bhagavata. The first set of questions were asked in first chapter. Second and third, they speak the answer to this 6 questions. Second and third are beautiful chapters of first canto. Then they asked some more questions in the fourth chapter, and that becomes the subject matter for the entire first canto. Now you understand, no? The whole kind of overview. So then they asked in fourth chapter some questions, because after giving answers, no, this earlier one, at the end, Sutta Goswami told, what I am speaking, you may be wondering what kind of answers I am saying, we have not heard and all. I heard this from my guru. Who is that? Yesterday we saw Shukadev, and he spoke to Parikshit. And Shukadev was taught by whom? Vyasa. And he compiled Bhagavatam on the instructions of Narada. So they got doubts. This is something we have not heard. Very confidential. Tell me how, where, when, and what was that inspiration for Vyasa to write Bhagavatam? So they started asking questions. See, they are so attentive. So when we are hearing these questions, you can see the qualification of the hearer. The adhikari tattva, it's coming actually in more clear terms, we will put it. Then they asked, you told about Shukadev Goswami, we have heard a lot about him. He's like a Parama Virakta. He's so detached. He would not stay in front of a house to get milk as bhiksha for long. He would go only at the time of milking, and he would stand there only till the time of milking and just take only little milk, and he would go off. What it means is, he was not very interested in materialistic life. And yesterday Prabhu was narrating that famous incident, how he was not at all, he was so pure in his vision. He did not knew even the difference of man and woman. Not that, like children doesn't know man and woman difference. But he is a grown-up man. But his vision is so filled with transcendental knowledge, divya jnana, that it is above the difference of material calculations. So such a person, he heard this Bhagavatam and he became attracted to Krishna by him. Tell us how it happened. And how was he received? Because you told me that Shukadev Goswami told to this King Parikshit, because this Shukadev Goswami doesn't even stand in front of someone's house for more than a muhurta, half an hour or 20 minutes or 40 minutes. How could he stay for 7 days, 7 nights and speak Bhagavatam to Parikshita, who is a king? Kings are considered too much immersed in politics, materialism and all, is it now? So how could he stay there? So tell us about this king. What is special about this king? This Parikshit. We have heard about his birth, his activity. He controlled the Kali Yuga only, Kali Purusha only. And he got cursed to die in 7 days. Why? What happened? Tell us properly. So describe about Shukadeva who spoke, Parikshita who heard, and what is that situation which brought them together? That was the fourth question. A simple question, but they are deeply curious about knowing this detail. And that's answered further in 5th to 19th chapter, which is the entire first canto actually. The whole thing. Like that it expands actually. So the point is, we can see here one quality of hearers. those who are eager to understand Bhagavatam. What is the qualification to understand Bhagavatam when one is hearing Bhagavatam? See, there are two things. When we are understanding Bhagavatam, one who is hearing, one who is speaking, both are understanding Bhagavatam. We can never say one who is speaking, he has mastered that knowledge. No, that will be the greatest illusion. Both are serving Bhagavatam together. Right now, I am in the role to explain, but I am serving Bhagavatam. And you are also serving Bhagavatam. So together we are serving. Someone is speaking, someone is hearing. Tomorrow someone else may speak, others hear. The role of speaking is circumstantial, but the important mood is worshipping Bhagavatam or understanding Bhagavatam. So, in that sense, someone who is hearing Bhagavatam, what qualities can we see here? Very attentive. Rapt attention. Very, very attentive. Can you imagine 7 days, 7 nights without any food, morsel food or water he heard and he attained. And that can come something which is very interesting for us. When it can become interesting for us? When do we, like, nowadays people, when we are
Involved much.
absorbed in it. Yes, Prabhu?
Involved in deeply.
Involved deeply, yes. When we have that great attraction to it, we want to affection to it, we have love for it. Because he loves Bhagavan, and that Bhagavan is being described in Bhagavatam, so he is very, and it's explained so well actually in Bhagavatam. So the devotees, they become extremely attentive in hearing Bhagavatam, especially pure devotees. Like Prabhupada's one very famous story comes, wherein it was a night of Janmashtami, where whole day they had such long fasting. And Prabhupada had told, read Krishna book. Krishna book is the 10th canto of Bhagavatam chapters. So he was so deeply involved hearing Bhagavatam. Though he has only written explanations, but he is, as earlier I was telling, someone is in the role of hearer, someone is later speaker, listener. That role is the service. But most important is that eagerness to hear. So Prabhupada was hearing that chapter. Okay, one chapter comes, next chapter. Those who are reading it, they were feeling very tired. It was a fasting day. It was already late in the night. Whole night they were fasting, awake. Prabhupada was telling, read. And then he's seeing the person's situation. He told, okay, fine. You close and go to take rest. So, such pure devotees have great eagerness. You can notice that. That's the qualification. So, to tell, there is one very interesting purport point. Prabhupada himself says, Neminatru, would you like to read? One can?
Can I read, Prabhu?
Oh, yeah, here one devotee is reading. After that, you can read. Yes, one can assimilate the knowledge. Yeah. Importance. So, one is doing kirtana, one who is speaking, he is doing kirtana, he is explaining. One who is hearing, he is doing shravana, he is hearing. So, there is shravana kirtana happening in a Bhagavata samvada discussion. So, Prabhupada very nicely has pointed out, can you see the nature of hearing and speaking? Some qualities mentioned here, some important words. I also highlighted, but within that you can also find some highlighted important words.
Properly grasped.
Okay, here one question is asked, properly grasped. So one who has properly grasped, one who has understood, learned. Okay, anything more? Right source, very good. Right source, he has heard from the right source. Like Bhagavatam is so wonderful. At the same time, you cannot understand Bhagavatam from anyone. You have to approach the right source who explains Bhagavatam, the right person. That's why in the very beginning also we are saying, there is Vyakti Bhagavata, who is a Acharya, Prabhupada, like, pure devotees. And in that lineage, parampara, like that. Anything more? Submissive hearing.
Submissive hearing.
Submissive hearing. One who hears, not like challenge, not like putting vada, vivad, vitanda, no, but submissive. This is truth which Krishna himself told it originally to Brahma. Later that was told in the lineage. It's truth, no doubt about it. But how I can understand it? That is submission. He doesn't deny that truth. He doesn't reject the truth. He says, yes, but how I can understand it? It is 100% true. He has full faith. Yes, it is true. But how I can understand it? That kind of mood is there in inquiry. The inquiry is never, how can it be possible? No, not like that. How can I understand it? This is the mood of inquiry in Bhagavata. In Gita also, Krishna, Arjuna also asks in that mood. So in this sense, we can see the adhikari tattva. So in the Bhagavatam, there are many type of conversations happening. First canto itself. Last time I did mention 2-3 conversations. And if you recollect, in the first canto, you can see these qualities reflecting. Hearer is telling something, speaker is telling something. What qualities are there actually? So what are the famous conversations in first canto? Any of you recollect? Narada and Vyasa, correct. So I'll come back to this slide. So the very first comes is Suta Goswami is meeting some rishis in that forest, and he is asked some questions. And he refers to other 2 conversations, Narada Vyasa and Shukadev Parikshit. So these are conversations happening. And in these conversations, most importantly, these conversations show what is the right qualification to understand Bhagavad. Adhikari Tattva. So in the earlier shloka, earlier slide I was showing, what is the true qualification to understand speaker or hearer? What should it be? Yes, Prabhu, you can read. Eager, that little point.
Describe glories of Bhagavan. Seek his will and trying to follow and
Please him. So that eagerness is to be very much noted. You may know that famous story of, this is very famous, Bhagavatma, Dundukari and Gokarna. There also he was so eager to hear, he had taken shelter of Bhagavatam. Shelter here means, this is the only means by which I can become delivered. He was in tremendous misery. He took shelter, he had that faith, he took shelter of Bhagavatam, and he could see result very soon. So like that, you see many such instances. So what is important is eagerness. And that eagerness will impel a person to take ashraya of Bhagavad. And that will reflect in a person's action. What he wants to do in life. It's just that some time of the day he comes and hears and he does leave everything aside. However, he is living. No. In his life, he is always trying to follow Bhagavan's desire, Krishna's desire. Some of the very famous incidents in first canto show this. After the whole battle of Mahabharata, when the Pandavas thought now it's done, we lost practically everyone. There were some 5 sons of Draupadi still there. They were also killed very brutally by Ashwathama in the night, beheaded. Draupadi becomes so piteously crying. Then Arjuna goes on to get that Ashwathama, gets him, and then he wants to punish him. Again, Draupadi says, don't, please. He is the son of our Guru only, is he not? Drona's son he is. And she has only one son. Her husband has died. So after telling all this, then Yudhishthira also tells him. Bhima tells, no, kill him. Then Arjuna understands. He just takes off his money and he disfigures him and leaves him. He goes out in revenge. He again shoots a Brahmastra. In fact, 2 Brahmastras. One to kill Draupadi's husband, Pandavas. Another to kill the last one surviving child, who is not yet born only yet. So Draupadi was asked, what is this happening? So she prayed to Krishna. Arjuna prayed to Krishna. Uttara, the mother, she came running to Krishna. Krishna Mahayogin, Deva Jagatpate. You are the, you only can abhayam, you can give, please give us abhaya. She prays. So in the life, there is so many incidences which will come. And in the first canto, you will see many great devotees, like Kunti will come. She had how many difficulties in her life, right from even before her marriage only. And after marriage, her husband immediately is gone to forest, he dies there. Her children are every step they are attempted to be killed. Daughter-in-law is so insulted. Her children are sent to forest for many years, and brutal massacre war happens. So many things. But in her life, how she was seeing the life situations, that is seeking Krishna's will and trying to follow. This all reflects that eagerness to hear. It actually reflects in how people perceive, how that person perceives events in his life. Like Bhishma Dev, then another next incident comes is Bhishma Dev. Bhishma Dev lying on the bed of arrows. And how whole life he did so much, but he was not acknowledged only, not respected what he did. In fact, he was misunderstood. And he was giving good instructions, they did not follow him. And at the end, he fell in the war on the 9th or 10th day. So that instance comes, Bhishma's. But Krishna, seeing that their whole life was such great surrender, he respects their life. He rewards them by he himself present. For Kunti, he hears prayers. For Draupadi, he protects. Uttara, her child in the womb, he protects. And for Bhishma, he is present. Like this, many, many episodes. And for Parikshit, do you think he will leave it like that? One who had led life such surrender and all. So Krishna was there. And that, because his life was like that, at the very end, when he got an opportunity to hear, he showed that extreme eagerness. That eagerness was always there. It is not that Parikshit was only eager at the end because he got, what to do, abhi 7 din mein marna hai, nothing else to do, better here. Not like that. It's not that he doesn't have any option, that's why he's hearing. No. He was a pure devotee when he was a king. He was doing it for pleasure of Krishna. Now, Krishna is told, now, I want you to only and directly be with me in hearing Katha. Yes, that eagerness. So, Parikshit's eagerness. So, the second point, can please read? Yes. Advance in bhakti. This is very high consciousness. These are ideals of hearing. So, Saunaka Rishis or Narada, who was a boy. That famous story also comes. Narada boy hearing from Bhaktivedanta sages. Some rishis come to his listening. He was a small boy. Very innocently, he started hearing, serving and hearing. And because of service, he developed such eagerness to hear. So, one of the important ways to develop eagerness is service, is seva. This comes very beautifully in this. Because these great devotees like Kunti, Draupadi, Bhishma, Parikshit, and this boy Narada, so they were serving, they developed that eagerness. So that qualification of these great hearers is explained there. So these important conversations are there. At this point, I want some of you to please reflect. What should be the quality of someone who is speaking Bhagavatam? You all already have read Bhagavatam to some extent. Someone might have read fully. In your understanding, what do you think what should be the qualities of a speaker? Should be in parampara. He should speak in the parampara, in what acharyas, gurus have told he should speak. Yes, anything? He should have love for Bhagavan. He should be a devotee. At least he should be a devotee. He may not be a pure devotee, but at least he should be eagerness to serve, speak, serve Krishna. Yes, very good. Yes. Aware of 6 philosophies. Prabhupada writes about it. He should know all the philosophies which are against bhakti, so that he can defend bhakti and show superiority of bhakti. That is also one important qualification of a speaker. Prabhupada tells it in one of the purports like this. Very right, he told. Anything more? He speaks for benefit of people. Okay, he speaks such that those people can take to what he's saying for their benefit, not that he's having something in his head and just he wants to impress on people. You know how much I know? Not like that. But he wants to give something by which the person can start worshipping or serving Krishna at his level. Like that. Very good point. Yes, anything more? You should have heard nicely from his guru. He should be a good shishya. Only a good shishya can become a good guru. Like that. Yes. Anything more? Yes, all are telling perfectly. Something more? How should he see one who is hearing Bhagavatam? Someone who doesn't know it, he doesn't know, that's why I'm coming to, show mercy on him or like that. He should speak for his purification, or he should speak to please Krishna. And he respects audience. I was telling how that Sutta Goswami started telling, he started clapping only practically. What questions you asked, my God, you are so glorious, you are so glorious. Shukadev Goswami does it many times. Parikshit, you are such a great devotee, you are so intimate to Krishna. What can I say about you? And he glorifies, can you imagine a teacher glorifies student? It is not actually a teacher-student. Though externally it appears like that, here both are pure devotees. One is speaking Krishna, another is hearing. None of them are devoid of knowledge or devotion. No. In their eagerness to know Krishna, one is asking. Because that's the sign of prema. You want to know more about your beloved. Wow. Can you tell me? Can you tell me? Like that. So that's the nature of conversations in Bhagavad. Very beautiful. And by their conversation, we can, wow, kya mast. We are benefited actually. They are relishing. The ones who have no place there, actually we cannot be there in that conversation because it's a pure conversation. But we get benefit, blessed. Like that. Muft mein, they are getting freely benefited. They don't have qualification, they don't have right qualities, but they get benefit. That's mercy actually. So some of you already spoke. He should be a devotee. He should be in parampara, bona fide representative, heard from Guru. He should be in a mood to prayer. That's why any speaker who starts speaking first this is a shishtachara, this is a proper etiquette, that he prays to his Guru, he prays to the Supreme Lord, he prays to the one who is in front, hearing. This is the mood of speaker. He is grateful, he is humble, he is very experienced, he knows a lot, learning. At the same time, he is very compassionate. What is beneficial for other? All of you spoke it. I'm just putting in different words. Very encouraging. He gives good encouragement. We will see some verses of encouragement there later. And then he establishes, like he told very beautiful point. He should know what are the principles which are opposing bhakti, some wrong philosophies. He should know it so that he can defeat them and show how bhakti is superior. You see. Like that. So, and he should be honest. Not necessarily. So, of course, the speakers who are coming here are pure. They are pure devotees, and whatever they are speaking, they are fully realized it. But in the lineage, whoever comes in the parampara, even today, it could be like that. That one who speaks Bhagavatam may not be that he has realized everything, but he is very honestly telling, this is what Bhagavatam says. This is what my Acharya, my Guru says. I am presenting it for you. Personally, I am not doing it. I am not able to follow it, not by hypocrisy, but lack of ability, lack of taste, lack of advancement, many things. But he is honest. This is very appreciated actually. Speaker should be honest. If not pure, he should be honest. Pure speaker is the ideal speaker. Pure devotee. But whoever comes in that lineage who honestly say what pure devotees told, they are as good as pure speakers. Krishna tells it a little later actually. This is about speaker. Now let's someone list about hearer. Some hearer we already saw a little. If someone would like to list how a hearer should have good qualities which will help him understand Bhagavad. 1 minute. Someone would like to say online? Hare Krishna?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes.
Hears with the faith.
Okay, here is an answer. Hears with faith. Very good. He hears with faith. But actually, what it also means is he's also a devotee. Is it not? He has faith on bhakti. He has faith on the speaker. Arey, inko pata nahi. What he's speaking is wrong. I know more than him. Not like that. Even if a hearer knows more, he wants to relish what is being spoken. So he will never show that mood of superiority. No? In fact, that leads to another quality of respect. He respects. Yes, any other quality of hearers? Anyone in front?
Submissive hearing, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Okay, one devotee is telling online. Yes, Mataji?
Submissive.
Submissive. Okay, very good. So there is a quality called submissive hearing. Very good. Very good. Anyone in front would like to add? Inquisitive. Very good. He is very inquisitive. And that shows his attention and his interest to know more about Krishna. So inquisitive. Somewhere he will ask questions. You told like that, Shukadeva, Sutta. How is this happened? What happened here? Please explain us. So they want to know every detail of it like that. Yes, because the love is shown there. When you want to know details, that means there is love. Like that. Anything more? Any other good qualities? Qualities of ideal hearer? Gratitude, very good. Kritagnyata, gratitude. Yes. Humble also, yes. Humility, gratitude, very important. Yes. He should be in the mood of service attitude, seva bhava. Seva bhava is there for speaker also, here also. That is something foundational. That seva bhava and devotion, all this. Yes. True, very good quality. Yes, anything more? There is one more. Actually, I have told it, but I just want to hear it in that specific wording only. It is eagerness, utkantha, or that great desire to hear about Krishna. The greatest devotees show that such desire so fondly. Just see Hanuman, one great devotee. How much he wants to hear about Ram. His eternal duty, activity is hearing about Ram. Yatra yatra Raghunatha Kirtanam. Wherever there is Kirtana or glories of Lord Rama spoken, there Hanuman's, how he stands there in that sloka, you remember? What does it say, that sloka? Yatra yatra Raghunatha Kirtanam, tatra tatra Kritamastaka Anjalim. Mastaka head, Anjali hands. He stands like this. Kritamastaka Anjalim. Bashpavari Paripurna Lochanam is crying in gratitude. That shows gratitude. Marutim Namata Rakshasantam. He's so powerful. He has done great duties, great services for pleasing Lord Rama. He has killed many Rakshasas, many things. But when he's so grateful and he's so respectful, he has that eagerness. Like that, you can see Parikshita, many great devotees. So this all actually show those qualities. Inquisitive, you told. Determined. He's very determined. And he has that faith on Krishna Katha. One very classic, how much time we have? Maybe you can do this at your time. I'll just point this out. If you want to know the qualities of hearer, there is one section which is actually coming when Parikshita has got cursed. That time, this is the last chapter of first canto. There he speaks something to the assembly of sage. Many rishis have come around him. So actually, as soon as he did that improper act of putting that snake around the neck, when he was coming out only, he thought something bad should happen to me. Something bad should happen to me. I should become punished now. How I could do it? I disrespected a Brahmana who was in trance. This sinful mentality should go away. Some punishment should come. And someone comes and tells, this is what happened. Wow. He becomes so happy. This is mercy of Krishna, which has come in the rupa of Dvija's Shapa, Brahmana's Shapa. Wow. And then immediately he entrusts to Janamejaya, and he does that little duties, and he comes to the Tira, the shores of Ganga, Shukatal, near Delhi it is there. And he comes there and he sits there and he practically has shown such distaste or detachment that whole Brahmanda, many great saintly rishis, sannyasis, they all come with their shishyas there. And he receives them very well, and he speaks beautiful words. That you great sannyasis, you great rishis, actually a person who is in the sansara like me, actually you don't even see towards us. But now you have come. This is great blessing on me. And I treat you with great respect. He tells all these narrations there. And then at the end, he asks few very specific questions. Let that snake bird, which is a very mystical creation, snake bird, Takshaka was a snake bird. Snake is usually crawls, but it was a bird also, snake bird, Takshaka. Let it come now only and kill. I want to absorb myself in Lord Hari's glories. I am sitting next to Ganga, which is flowing from his feet. Let there be Ganga of his glories flowing, and let me just sit here and absorb, take bath in it. Let that snake come now only and kill me. He tells that. So that shows these qualities. Just now we saw, no? Determined, faith on Krishna, inquisitive, eagerness, gratitude. So this kind of gold standard of hearing, gold standard of speaking, all that is shown in Bhagavata, in the first canto, which is actually, it appears very lofty, but unless we see those lofty examples, we don't understand only, is it not? So it is important to know what is the highest standard. And of course, acharyas will explain that how to practice it at our level. But while explaining only, if we reduce it to our level, what remains? So Bhagavatam shows the highest examples of hearing, speaking. So qualities of speaker also is told in 1.2.3. Maybe you can note this at your time. Just read translations of it. You get sufficient pointers of how an ideal hearer is, how an ideal speaker is. Okay, so that kind of completes the first adhikari tattva. So the adhikara essentially is he should have eagerness to hear about Lord. And that is seen in those conversations. One who speaks, one who hears. For both, that eagerness should be there. And second canto is nothing but how you cultivate that eagerness. That becomes sadhana. Adhikara is what? Qualification. What is the qualification to understand Bhagavatam? Eagerness, that intense desire to know. That comes. How does it come? How can I grow it, cultivate it? That is sadhana. That is explained in second canto. Is this clear? We are coming to the very last part of our seminar, that is sadhana tattva. Any questions or comments at this point? I'm just trying to go as low as possible and try to simplify these very deep principles actually. But nonetheless, any of you want to add here something, or any of you want to know more about, by inquiries or something, any of you want to ask questions on this, surely. Is it clear so far what's going? So how does second canto begin? The whole first canto ends at Parikshit and Shukadev Goswami meeting. So they meet, as it's shown in this photo. And it's not that only two are meeting. Innumerable sages. So many sages. Not just sages means, it's not only bhaktas. Some jnanis, some yogis, some all different varieties of spiritual paths, which can be broadly categorized as karma marga, jnana marga, and yoga marga. In that upasana, kanda, or bhakti later comes actually. So all different types of saints along with their shishyas, great kings also have come. Many people have come. They knew this person was such a great king, and he is cursed now. Something momentous will happen at time of his death. We want to be there. So they came there. And knowing that so many have come, Parikshit has a compassion on all of them, He wants to very clearly establish what is the highest path. Just because he is a bhakta, Shukadeva will not just directly tell bhakti. He will tell all other paths. He will tell bhakti. He will show comparison and he will establish how it is superior. So the second canto begins because Parikshit asks very clear questions. The question, please, Kabir Das Prabhu, you wanted to read last time. I could not hear you. Yes, please read.
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Prabhu.
Yeah, yes.
Please tell me of unalloyed duty of one, everyone in all circumstances, specifically of two, a dying person.
Dying person. So please tell me of the unalloyed duty. Unalloyed means the one and only duty of everyone in all circumstances. What should be the duty of a human being who is living? And what should be the duty of someone who is about to die, who has understood now he is going to die? Practically now, no one knows when he is going to die, especially in current day and age. And everyone is sure to die, but doesn't know when he is going to. In that sense, the second question and first question are meaning the same only. Basically, what it is what is that one thing which everyone should do, being in this mortal world? Anytime one can die. So that is the inquiry he has made. And actually, it follows with another set of questions. I have not put it here so as to simplify. He tells what should he chant, what should he sing or glorify or talk, what should he worship, what should he remember. Shrotavya, Kirtitavya, Pujyascha, and Smartavya. Like that, there are words used. So in reply to this, Shukadeva Goswami tells Sadhana Tattva. Sadhana Tattva is actually comparing many sadhanas. Sadhana means spiritual path, cultivating a spiritual path. And he shows the highest spiritual path is bhakti. And the highest person to be worshipped is Bhagavan. And one has to develop eagerness for that Bhagavan by cultivating bhakti. How it happens? Faithfully, regularly hear glories of that Bhagavan. By that we cultivate eagerness. What is the way to cultivate eagerness? We should regularly. That's why Prabhupada instituted daily, at least in Prabhupada's places, temples, daily there is Bhagavata discussion classes. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. It is Nityam, it should be, but at least Pratidina. Like that. So faithfully and regularly hear glories of Lord. By that we cultivate what? Eagerness. So what is sadhana now? In this slide, cultivating eagerness. How? Shravana, faithful and regular Shravana. Qualification which was told in first canto is eagerness. Cultivating to attain that eagerness is sadhana. What is the way? Faithfully, regularly hear glories. How that faith comes? Know how bhakti is supreme. Know how Bhagavan is great. By that you get faith, na? Is it not? So, like this second canto describes. Is this all going proper? So, in this description, our Shukadeva Goswami goes to great depth to explain other paths. There is one famous path called Virata Rupa Dhyana, which is actually Nirakara Dhyana. Because Virat Rupa is present everywhere. In that sense, you cannot point out here is the form. It's another form of impersonal existence only. And in that description, he goes on to great detail of what are the practices of that Nirakara, Nirguna, Brahma, Anushilana, cultivation. That he describes. That's the first chapter of second canto. You can recollect the chapter name is First Step in God Realization, it's called. The chapter title is First Step, it's told. Then later he goes on to tell the yogis who have grown higher from jnanis. They start thinking about or meditating about Paramatma in the heart. That's why the second chapter, his name is Lord in the Heart. So then, that's yogis. Then in the third chapter of second canto, he describes list of devatas. For what attainment you should worship whom? If you want good wife, whom you should worship? If you want good wealth, if you want victory, if you want elimination of your enemies, if you want dharma, if you want swarga, pleasures of swarga, if you want moksha, if you want, like this, many big list is there. At the end of it, Krishna tells, Shukadeva says this very famous verse. Akama sarva kamo va moksha kama udaradhi tivrena bhakti yogena
Tivrena bhakti yogena
yajeta purusham param.
yajeta purusam param.
So this is familiar shloka. Would anyone like to say a simple meaning of this? Any of you recollect meaning of this shloka? This shloka is famous. Mm-hmm. And he's saying, let's give him a chance. Okay. Uh-huh. No problem. Parama Purusha Krishna. So very nice. Venkatraman Prabhu told. What it means is a person may have no desires. Means akama. A Shuddha Bhakta doesn't have any desires for this world. He may have desire to serve Krishna, that's different. But he doesn't have any desires related to this world. Or a person may have many desires, material desires. He is called Sarvakama. Or a person may be desiring liberation. This world, enough of it. Too much miserable. Let me get out of it here. Either akama, sarvakama, mokshakama. That's why va word is used. Va means or like that. If he is intelligent, udaradhi, udara buddhi wala, then what he should do? He should worship yajeta purusham param, parama purusha. Krishna he should worship. How? Tivrena bhakti yogena. Tivrena means here, he should only do bhakti. Not some little jnana, some karma, and little bhakti also. Not like that. Mishra bhakti, no. Let him take shelter of bhakti only. May his intentions be anything. But if he is taking full shelter of bhakti, he will be blessed. Whatever he wants, he will attain. Provided what? Tivrena bhakti. Tivra. You understand? Tivra. Serious or intense. Basically, it means exclusively bhakti. It doesn't mean he should be pure. No. If he is pure, why it will tell Sarvakam? It's not that he needs to be pure. That's not an essential qualification. What is the essential qualification? Process has to be followed purely, and he should exclusively follow. His heart may have many desires, but his practice should be proper. Exclusively bhakti only. Now, when we say exclusive bhakti, this doesn't mean that he has to leave samsara and no, that's not the thing. One can do bhakti by being in the world in whatever situation. Bhakti doesn't demand a person to change his material situation. No. In karma marga, he has to come to the right lifestyle. In bhakti also it is told, at least come to a favorable situation. But the prerequisites in karma marga and jnana marga are too much. In jnana marga, it's told that first you take sannyas, then you are allowed entry in jnana marga. Otherwise, no, don't talk about Upanishads. They only mainly talk about Upanishad. Upanishad means sannyas first. They say this. So they are very strict conditions, prerequisites. But in bhakti, it's not the case. What is told here? Tivra bhakti. Serious bhakti. Exclusively bhakti, it means. So by that he will attain. So in bhakti, there are different levels. There is something which is bhakti in conditioned stage. It is done very sincerely. I'm not talking about Mishra Bhakti. Okay, Mishra Bhakti means a person may have many desires to fulfill. That is Mishra Bhakti. His practice also will be Mishra. He will do little bhakti. He will do little jnana vairagya activities, karma activities. He will do some other activities. Thinking that, oh, I think I may miss something by bhakti. Let me do that path also, so as to gain. That is not Tivra Bhakti. Understand? Now, when one is doing bhakti, he may not have anyabhilashita shunyam yet, but he should be at least jnana karmadi anavrata, because you are referring to that shloka. So, what it means is he should be exclusively taking shelter of bhakti, not jnana karma. Then such a bhakti will very soon bring him to anyabhilashita shunya. Prabhupada meant that. Prabhupada told those who are aspiring for pure devotional service are also pure devotees. Prabhupada told it. When someone asked, how many pure devotees are there in your movement? Prabhupada told, count people around in the room. And he told, that many pure devotees. What it means? They have accepted pure devotional service as the goal. And they are engaging in bhakti in jnana karma, the anavrata methods. Means only bhakti. Tibra bhakti it is. I will come to that. It's just time separation. Here, that type of bhakti is told, not anyabhilashita shunya at this moment. See, when we say bhakti, see, those who have, see, while doing bhakti, you do bhakti to whom? Bhagavan. So your intention is to please him. When you do this activity, you get some result. Okay? You did bhakti to please Bhagavan. Let us call it X. You get result as Y. So Y is not always X. Someone may do bhakti to get artha, kama, moksha. But while doing bhakti, the nature of bhakti he is doing for what? To please Bhagavan. Because by pleasing Bhagavan, you get that. But pure devotee means Y is equal to X. He does bhakti so as to do more bhakti. It's not that he does bhakti to get dharma, artha, kama, moksha. He does bhakti for bhakti, for pleasing Bhagavan, and whatever result he gets from it, he wants to do bhakti only. You are getting this difference? While you have not attained the result, you are doing with an intention. And after you pleased Bhagavan, you get some blessings. Like Narsimdev told, Prahlad, I am asking you, ask benedictions. He could have asked, right? But what did he ask? No materialism. My only prayer is remove materialism. He asked that. I am your servant, Das. There is no other this thing, no trading, no merchandise here. No. So that is Ananya. Doing bhakti for pleasing Bhagavan, and after pleasing Bhagavan, the result is also for doing more bhakti. The prayer, the intention, everything is only bhakti. That's pure. Is it clear, bro? Okay. I hope I'm not complicating. Okay. So yes, Bhagavatam doesn't stop one to do bhakti just because he has some other expected result. Whatever, because by pleasing Bhagavan, you get everything, because Bhagavan is everything. He is the source of everything. You want, material happiness. You want liberation. You want Swarga. Everything you can get by pleasing Bhagavan. So yes, Bhagavatam doesn't stop one because he has a material intention. He tells, whatever it is, worship Krishna. Don't go to other devatas, because see, the very interesting thing, why it is told, the next shloka in this sequence, it actually comes a chapter before. He tells, I'll not go to the shloka, but I'll just mention what happens by bhakti. Bhakti means here done for Bhagavan Krishna. What happens? Read the first result or benefit. Yes, Prabhu. Till then, he was thinking, my aim of life is this. Something not connected to Bhagavan or service to Bhagavan. But now he will start thinking, because he started doing bhakti to Bhagavan, even with an impure aim, it becomes purified. Example? Famous example is Dhruva. By the time Lord appeared in front of Dhruva, after that 6 months, in fact, much before it, he became so pure that he did not want it to ask only. But Bhagavan told, no, people will tell wrong about me if I don't give you anything. I will give. I'll give. And Dhruva was telling, Ayo, I had such intention before I came to worship. That's why Lord is not taking me to spiritual world now. Like that, he was thinking and repenting for this. Broken pieces of glass, that famous verse is there. So, first thing which happens is purification of aim or goal of life. Okay, I hope you are getting this. Dhruva is a classic example, actually. Many examples are there. Then he attains Lord's Sanidhya or Seva. That's the highest gain, attainment of Lord's lotus feet. It is told in, by bhakti, these things happen. If you do upasana means devatas. Bhakti means Bhagavan. It is done to Krishna. Actually, it is told like that. Sometimes, of course, we use Rashtra Bhakti or other devata upasanas also as bhakti. Okay, in a very generic sense. But truly speaking, bhakti, the very nature of bhakti shows that there should be attitude of service, not some trading. Until I came to this understanding, I always thought whenever I used to go to some temple of, say, other devatas, say Ganesha or Skanda or like that, we were told that you pray for this, you pray for this. So we grew in that. There is nothing wrong about whoever taught us. But this kind of aspiration is revealed in Bhagavatam. Such kind of prayer, such kind of devotees are there in Bhagavatam. That's why it's very, very lofty scripture. And that's why this is the almost the conclusion. Last but one slide. That's why Bhagavatam tells what one should do. He should actually take to hearing Bhagavatam very seriously. Shrinvata Shraddhaya Nityam Granatascha Swacheshtitam Kalena Nati Dhirghena Bhagavan Vishate Hridi.
Bhagavan Visate Hridi.
Neminapro, you want to read translation?
Person who hears in Bhagavatam.
I have tried to highlight, of course, in the shloka also it's there. It is actually more clearly told in shloka, Shraddhaya. He should hear with faith. And he should do it Swacheshta, means he should endeavor there. The endeavor or effort in bhakti is to hear the glories of Lord, to come and attend Bhagavata discussions, show that eagerness, do some service so as to develop that eagerness to hear Bhagavatam. Our effort should be here, not that our effort is doing so much of upavasa. Even when upavasa or tapasya is told in bhakti, it is for what? What you should do there, it's told. Like Ekadashi was there, day before yesterday. What one should do in Ekadashi, it is told? Hear, chant, it is told. That is what is the sadhana, so that we develop eagerness to hear. And that eagerness is the key by which, in fact, in Bhakti one advances very swiftly, in Bhagavatam becomes more and more revealed. Like this, Bhagavatam is that oceanic scripture. It has so many gems of Bhakti principles. They get revealed with that adhikara. What is the adhikara? Eagerness to hear. And what is the sadhana to develop that eagerness? Regularly, faithfully. Was there anything more there? Regularly and faithfully only, na? Hear the glories of. So, hearing Bhagavatam only will give that eagerness. We don't need to do something outside it. Okay. But we need to understand, unless it's told explicitly, sometimes we smudge our understandings, is it not? So, in that sense, what we saw in this small endeavor was Parichaya of Bhagavata. We named it Parichaya because, truly speaking, it is an introduction. So, though the very first day when we entered into ISKCON temple or into satsangas, Bhagavata is told. Prabhupada made it available even to the hippies on their very first day. The highest Vedic scripture he started spelling to the most fallen people. So the mood is to give that compassion is there. At the same time, if we aspire, if we cultivate these qualities, cultivate the eagerness by regularly and faithfully hearing, by understanding the position of bhakti, the Bhagavan, the bhaktas, all this, then we can really enter that bhakti. So, following this course, we have kept the name as Pravesh for that Bhagavat Pravesh, because now there that all Bhagavan's wonderful activities, the 10 topics of Bhagavatam, Sarga, Visarga, all that will get delineated actually. I hope this was a small attempt actually. Anyway. He is from Mumbai. The name of the deity is Radha Vrindavan Vihari. Vrindavan Vihari. Vrindavan Vihari. Govardhaniko village. Same black deity. So this session, our seminar, we cannot say end. we are giving virama for that. The Nityam Bhagavata Charcha can continue. Speaker will change, the places will change, but the narrations are so beautiful from Bhagavata. So thank you very much. I had the role of trying to explain here, but nonetheless, it's told that in the material circle also, teacher learns the most. Because he has to meditate on what he's speaking. He has to really think about it. I took this service when Swarna Gaurav Prabhu prompted me strongly that, okay, let me learn it more properly and in that manner. If it is of some service to you, I consider it very, very fulfilled. But in the course, I tried to present something which I have heard from my Gurujanas. I told wherever references possible, I will share those references also. There is a small write-up which I have made. Whatever these PPTs are based on, I will share that. Once you all complete your quizzes, I'll share maybe today evening or something. But if whatever if you have gained any little inspiration to practice bhakti, which you are already doing in your daily practice, if you have gained any little inspiration, a forward step, that whole credit goes to our acharyas, Gurujanas. I consider responsible for anything which is shortcoming here. So kindly forgive me, and I'm very, very blessed to have this service. And I seek your blessings to develop that eagerness. That's our goal, eagerness. Because once we develop that eagerness, then everything becomes so revealed to us. The Gurujanas are telling, the books are telling, the facilities to serve are so immense actually. So like this, we try to gain this more understanding and introduction to Bhagavata. At this moment, I also want to thank Gajanan Prabhu, who helped conduct this, run the registration and coordinate all these activities and communication, all that. Thank you, Janan Prabhu. And he has agreed for to serve as a coordinator for this small forum. We called it Srila Prabhupada Bhagavat Vidyalaya because Bhagavata is the basis, it's also the goal. You know? So all courses will be stemming from Bhagavatam, will be leading to Bhagavatam only. And it's all what Srila Prabhupada instructed us to do. In his instruction line, we want to learn this and do this whole thing. That's why we call the title of this or the caption also as Satyam Param Dhimahi. That's the first verse of Bhagavatam, is the last line actually. That's very, very important. So if there are any comments, any suggestions, welcome. In this quiz, you will also have those questions at the end as a feedback. At this point, maybe we can do the quiz. And after that, I'm available here for some more time. If you have any questions personally or at the end you want to ask, you can ask. So at this moment, I will share this quiz. Responses. Verify. Okay. So on the group I am sharing now. So kindly all devotees, please check your groups. I am posting the link and try to solve
Yes, come, Prabhu. It has come, Prabhu.
Yes, come. Yes, please.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for wonderful lecture, Prabhu. We do not know anything about Bhagavatam. We just read the book. We read the Bhagavatam, but we came to know a lot of things. How it has originated, how it has reached devotee through use of Prabhu. Thank you very much for your wonderful class, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So Prabhu is just appreciating that. So please, you got the link. Are you able to open it? Kindly solve. Huh? Not linked up means what? It's not coming up.
Responses.
It is not yet come. Oh, it will come individually separately. Like that. What I should do? Achha. Okay, I will pause the recording here at this moment.